before we can learn how to play the trumpet, first we need to hold the trumpet. And this is can maybe be a little confusing or intimidating because you've got a lot of fingers and there's a lot of tubes and stuff to figure out where to put them around, but it's actually going to be really easy. We're going to make sure you get off to a good start with your hand positioning, and down the road that's going to help you play a lot faster, and it's also going to help you operate the slides, which is going to help you play in tune. When I was young, I remember my trumpet teacher and my band director getting upset about me not holding it correctly. So hopefully I'll keep you out of trouble with some tips on it now. Let's figure out the left hand first. We basically just want to grip around the valves right here, and we want to put the thumb there in the saddle in the front. You probably have something there. And then we want to put one of the fingers of the left hand back into the ring that's on the third valve slide. Now, all of our hands are different sizes, so the finger that's most comfortable for me might not be very comfortable for you. Probably as youngsters, you can get your pinky into that ring, and that might be a good way to hold it. If some of you have particularly big hands or that ring is very close, if there's not much space here, you can use a different finger. But the goal here, and what we're trying to make sure that we can do, is we want to be able to move both of these slides fairly easily. Now, you're not going to be doing that right away when you're playing, but pretty soon you will. The band director is going to start talking to you about making some notes in tune. So we want to be able to move that first slide and that third slide. Even if on your horn those don't want to move really well, eventually you'll have a horn that those will move, and we want you to be able to do that fairly easily. So it should look like that. Now let's talk about the right hand. And the right hand is important because that's the one that we're going to push down the valves here. So we want to make sure that the way we position the hand lets us work these valves very easily. Now the key is the thumb. We want to get the thumb on the right hand right in that little spot there between the first and the second valves. It's kind of confusing watching the screen trying to show you. But if we can get that thumb in there, what it will do, it will keep the hand positioned in a very efficient way to push the valves down. Now here's what we want to watch out and not do. We don't want the thumb to kind of go in here or the thumb to go around there, because then if you'll see, if I can hold it right, then the fingers will really overlap the valves. Let me show you like from this direction. See how those fingers are, the position's very bad because this thumb is coming way in here. So we want that thumb between the first and second valves, and so that way the fingers are right on top of the buttons. And then your pinky, the pinky right there can just go in that little pinky ring, and then you should be set up pretty well. So we got the right hand with the thumb between 1 and 2 valves, and then we have our left hand positioned so we can do our slides, and that's about all there is to it. So I'll hold it here for just a second so you can see what you need to be doing. There's the left hand, and it doesn't really matter which finger goes in here as long as you find one that's comfortable, but we want to be able to do the slides. And again, on the right hand, I've got my thumb between the first and the second slides around like that. So that way the tops of my fingers are pushing down on the tops of the valves. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions about that, just shoot me a note down in the comment section and I'll try to clarify a bit more. Now it's time for our listening, and this time we're going to be checking out Doc Severinsen, one of the most famous trumpet players in the world and someone who just celebrated his 90th birthday. So happy birthday to Doc. Doc is most known for being a big band leader and playing some jazz, and he worked and led the band for the Johnny Carson show, which was a late night show that ran for a long time. A couple of the most noticeable things about Doc is how wonderful and exciting his sound is on the trumpet. It has so much energy and it just spins out of the bell. And also he has a very flamboyant performance nature and stage presence. It's so exciting to watch him, and he knows how to put on a really great show and captivate the audience, not just with his music but also with his stage presence. So I actually linked a video below in the description section. If you'll just click on that, you can check out Doc. I hope you enjoy him, and I hope you can take a little bit away from this performance and add it to your own personal way of playing the trumpet.